What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James. ReadOptionAgency.com, 21 years. Selling full-time on eBay. All right. It is Friday. And you know what that means. Several things, actually. We get to do a week update, see what the top 5 categories are I've sold. I'm kind of excited to see where vinyl ranks with all that vinyl I found, because I've been selling a lot of that vinyl that I got at the yard sale. So wouldn't be surprised if that's back up in the top 5. Also, it's found on Friday day, so I get to go, when I go to the post office, go out and see if I can find a few yard sales, and then hit a couple of thrift stores and video my adventures along the way. And then we'll recap in that tonight's video how much I've spent, how much we've made back, etc., etc. Kind of just showing what someone could do if they just sourced one day a week for a few hours on a Friday, and can they grow an income from that? So that's what we're going to be doing. So video number 2 will be tonight, unless something weird happens, like I die or something. Then you won't get a video tonight. But all right, we'll get into eBay. Even this morning I'm still getting server errors in my seller hub. Not sure why. It don't like do it immediately. It kind of takes a second. So I'm not sure what's going on with all that. But if I go into something, it doesn't happen. It's just like on the main page of the seller hub. So I can stay like in the performance area and stuff, but not sure what's causing that. So we're going to look into what happened with yesterday's sales and what have you, and then do the week recap and where we are today. So yesterday, all I worried about was getting to the bottom line that I like to get to, and it was late before I got there. It was probably like 8 o'clock-ish. And there for a few hours, I was wondering if I'm going to hit it because of the way sales have been lately on eBay. But I made it to 905, so 906 rounded. So $906 yesterday. I'm curious to see how many organic, since we started out with 0. So organic 15, so that's at least up a few. 47 promoted, total of 62 items. So the number of items at least climbed a little, so that's good. And then today we're starting out like we did yesterday. We are at 9:20 a.m. and got 14 items sold, so pretty good start. Seemed like, I won't say there was a shutdown, but there was a couple of hours where nothing came in, and a couple of hours before and after that, there only like 1 item sold. So can't technically say, maybe I think there was a shutdown, because that could happen. But 14 items sold, 14 promoted, 0 organic. So we still got that whole weirdness going on with the organics. And money-wise, at 920, like your 150 to 250, when things roll smoothly overnight, I'm over that. We were at 202 at 920, so at least at the halfway point, and we still got a half hour to go. So not a bad start, as long as it can keep up and the site doesn't start acting all wonky again. I did have a customer who's been trying to pay for the last few days, and it's been telling her it won't recognize her as a seller or as the buyer of the item. But then she was able to finally pay last night. So not sure what was up there, if that was something on her end or her account, or if that's something more widespread. I have no idea. But let's get into the weekly update, because I'm curious. So today's the 30th. So we go boom, boom. All right, so the last 7 days, total sales $6,619, up 6.5%. I didn't expect to be up, honestly, because everything's been pushing me backwards. percentage-wise. So it's kind of odd. Huh. Net sales, $4,629, up almost 10%. Can't complain about that, I guess. Average sales per item, $15, $15.08. So where I like to be. So that's good. 10 repeat buyers, 361 one-time buyers. And the top 5 categories. Dun, 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 dun. Coming in at number 5, men's shoes. Men's athletic shoes, number 5. $484 worth of shoes, up 353%. If you noticed my last Found on Friday video, I bought some shoes. One sold from that. Plus, I've had other shoes sell. I actually got a pair here I'm getting ready to ship out, which was a decent pair, which is kind of like a bolo I've talked about before. So we'll get into that. Next, number 4, vinyl records. So vinyl records come in at number 4, $587 worth of vinyl sold this past week, up 83%. So that vinyl scores I've been getting at the yard sales have been paying off. So, and they've been good titles. So, which I have another one here that has sold. So you'll see that one. A quicker flipper. Number 3, as usual, cassette tapes. $817 worth of cassette tapes, up 4.5%. Number 2, the same as always, CDs. $850, down 9.5%. And number 1, as always, men's hats. $1,095, down 26% in hats. I did notice kind of a slump in hats this past week, so, which is weird because normally summertime is when the hat sales go up, so kind of odd there. Maybe I just haven't put up enough. So, honorable mentions, number 6 is MLB merchandise, aka mostly Cardinals. $266, up 24.4%. So, ooh, and sneaking up behind that is stuffed animals. $219, up 300%. They made a little sneaky there with, I guess, I remember the one we sold that got found on Friday that sold. I don't remember other ones that have sold. But, not bad, not bad. I honestly thought everything was going to be down. Quantity sold is down 3%, only 439 items. So, but, hey. Da, 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 da. All right. Question and comments, shall we? Then we get into shipping, and then I can go out and start searching for stuff. I remember to take both phones this time. Yeah, you tell me. Da, 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 da. Thanks everybody for all the comments. Yesterday I was in one of those moods where I was just releasing stuff, so I wrote that big old long thing while I was sitting in the bathtub on the phone, just type, just typing what was on the top of my head. So that's what came out. Did you see last night's video with Jan? She's been wanting to start doing she's been wanting to show her ornaments on video because she's really getting into the ornament thing. And then some of you have requested actually wanting to see her ornaments. So when she gets the opportunity, I'll film her messing with some of her ornaments and what she's picking up. And then what she doesn't keep, she'll put in lots and give to me, and I'm supposed to list them. So I've got like a couple of totes that I'm waiting to get to list ornament-wise to start seeing what kind of value I can get out of them. I know some of the old stuff, you can get good money out of. So. But she picks up pretty much almost all the ornaments she sees, and she's got them separated in the living room with trays of colors and stuff like that. So it's kind of funny. Gives her something to do, keep her mind off of what, you know, gives her a hobby. So, and she needed that. So, so great to see you both doing a video together. Great haul. That was Josh. Josh. The new error today, telling people I don't ship to their state. 2 people reported it to me, but how many just left? Yeah, that's been like it hasn't been predominantly talked about, but I've seen rumblings of that over the past like week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks of that happening. I personally haven't had nobody telling me that yet, but I've heard rumblings of it. I don't talk about it unless it happens to me or it's like an overwhelming response out there that I'm seeing of people talking about it. So that's why I haven't really mentioned it. Do subscriber giveaways. Viewers love that. She seems like a gem. That's Jan. I try to, like, you can tell she's so uncomfortable in the video, so I try to loosen her up. It's like, you don't have to say every CD, you know, you can basically talk about whatever you want, just at least show the CDs, you know. So if she wants to go on to talk about something, she don't have to stop showing. So trying to help her get more comfortable with doing the videos. So, oh my God, this is a game changer. Thank you for explaining and detailing every single step. I'm so excited using your method. Every seller needs to watch this video. So that's my creating 200 eBay listings fast. That's been getting some traction again this past week. I've noticed it popping up in my like top 5 most viewed videos this past week. So it's starting to get a little traction again. So thank you for everybody who likes and comments on that video and kind of keeps that thing rolling. So more people that can get something from it, the better off you guys will be. So, and the more money the video makes me. How awesome is that? And you don't have to pay for it. All right, except with your time watching a commercial. Trickster. FTW. It's funny, there was, back in the day, in the 80s and late 80s and early 90s, people were so jaded, is that the right word, with their music? Like, if you listen to Slayer, Testament, and Anthrax, and Metallica, anything else was posers. You know, if you listen to Poison, or Trickster, or, you know, Motley Crue even sometimes, you're a poser. Everybody was always so divided. But then there was even another, like, genre where you could love GNR and Motley Crue, bands like that, and even Cinderella. But if you like Trickster, you were a poser. And it was very, very divided in the 80s. I was always one that played the full spectrum. I didn't care. I would listen to Testament and listen to Trickster. So I go the full gamut and always have, and always been vocal about it. So question, if you promote as a seller, aren't you pretty much admitting that you would rather promote your listings instead of not to be seen on eBay? If you promote as a seller, aren't you pretty much admitting that you would rather promote your listings to be seen on eBay? Huh? Am I confused here? If you promote as a seller, aren't you pretty much admitting that you would rather promote your listings? Well, I guess technically, not would prefer, or not would rather. I would rather not have to pay eBay more money. But if you don't, you're going out of business. Meaning you are admitting eBay is not an organic marketplace, but a controlled and manipulated one designed to funnel more money to eBay and not the reseller. Well, yeah, that's what they're becoming. And you have to pay to play. And if you don't, you go bye-bye. So you either go bye-bye or you play their game. They own the site. Boycott the promoted listings. You can't. You cannot boycott the promoted listings. The only way you can boycott promoted listings is if it's done 100% across the board, and you're not going to get 100% of eBay sellers to boycott all at the same time. You can't You can't even round up all the eBay sellers, let alone convince them to do it. It's not going to happen. I wish it could happen. It's not going to happen. That's like saying everybody in the United States is going to unite against the government. It's not going to happen. We're stuck in their game as individuals. And they're very good at separations. Yeah. I wish everyone wishes, but it's not going to happen. It would take something otherworldly drastic to happen. Something never seen in any of our lifetimes. James, don't worry about what people are saying. They are jealous. Just do your thing and be James. Oh, I always am. But yesterday I was trying to, yesterday's video, some of you guys kept saying, don't worry about people. I was basically making the statement more as a thank you for the people who have spoken and have seen the same things that I've seen, but have spoken up. So there's more voices than just mine. So that I'm not the only one out here. You know, when there's only one person waving a flag, people think they're nuts. And when there's more and more starting to join them, then people start going, maybe there's something to this. That's what yesterday's talk was about. Whether it came through that way or not, I'm not sure, but that's what it was about. More about thanking you guys for having my back, if you will. I think that's the way Josh put it. Alrighty. Thanks for sharing. It's beautiful. Okay, that was my statement, my little thing I put up. Hey, Jan. The church dress looks straight out of Handmaiden's Tale. Those vintage clothes. Jan. You guys love seeing Jan. Get her on more videos when she gets the opportunity. Thanks for shipping with me today, James. Enjoyed your company. Happy to keep you company. Shipping Tales by James. Hi, are you enjoying your shipping process today? I hope that you are. Well, I'm here to support you. Don't forget to print that label. Don't forget to seal that package. And why do invoices? It's such a waste. I've never done an invoice in 20 years. All right. Yes, that dude on the eBay message boards is freaking annoying. He is. And by the way, I'm the dude that's been supporting you in the forums. Oh, there you go, treasure hunt. So you and Josh, I've noticed, have been in there. So that's cool. I can put a treasure hunt. Since they changed these things, I've lost track of a lot of people. And like mine don't say My Boring Reseller Life anymore. It says Urban Picker. So if you guys didn't know my eBay name was Urban Picker, so that was my at YouTube, would have took you a minute to figure out who I was if I'm commenting on stuff. So I will be at 25 years with eBay this year. I used to sell only new stuff and did really well. It was simply amazing. I got into used and loved the hunt, but I have to say it's harder. Things have really changed over the years. I'm going to change the way I do stuff and try to get some items with better return on investment, but still keep some of the lower priced stuff. These items sell well when the economy is down. I have only done a few garage sales, but I need to try different areas. I have shopped at thrift shops and the bins. I found that I have a variety of items really helps as it brings in all kinds of buyers. So sorry for your loss is still raw for you. I have an idea of what you're going through. It does get better with time from experience. Hugs and love to you and Jan. Yeah, and that's the thing with business. I mean, over 21 years, I've shifted many times. Whether that was because of changing times, whether that was because I had to take care of my dad and I could only leave the house for like an hour at a time. That's when I started getting more into, that's when I started the hat fanatic thing, basically. And it was quick, easy, And look what it turned into. It's my highest item seller. So making a change is not always bad. And then like now that I can get out again, doing the finds on Found on Friday video series now, I can get out, and the Saturday yard sales, I can get out and look for those. You know, Friday is dedicated to just not picking up everything, just picking up the high dollar stuff. And then Saturday is trying to get a good deal across the board about everything. So, but still, with yard sales, you can incorporate a lot of the higher dollar stuff in there also. So, kind of like we'll get to one of the items in one of the past yard sales where I bought everything he had, but it's making me good money. So, teaser, what is it? Do you remember? Can you figure it out? And it's not DVDs, but, yeah, so you have to change with the times consistently, but like I said, it's not always a bad thing. There was a time where all I sold was media. I sold nothing else. I mean, I would go to a thrift store, and if I found something like new in the package, a new tool, or, you know, a toy I knew, or, you know, a vintage toy, of course I was going to pick it up and sell it. But 95% of what I sold was media. Whereas now, because of my dad moving in, my highest item I sell is hats, used hats. So you never know what that change will bring to you. I mean, I never thought about selling used hats before. And probably a lot of you, before you started watching my videos, never thought about it before. Or thought, people's not going to buy that. But yet, boom, right? So, and that's, I wonder if that has been the biggest influence from my videos, is resellers in the used hat market. Because like I said, when I started the videos to now, there are like 5 times plus used hats on eBay than there was. So did I influence that spark? To a detriment to me, because I was making a whole lot more money on hats, but it helped you guys out, and it pushes me to stay one step ahead, right? So a lot of people like staying in that comfort zone where, and that's why a lot of people won't do videos, or they frown upon us doing the videos, because they want to stay in that zone. They've got this good thing. They don't want it ruined, right? Like if that was me with hats, I could have gone years and years and years without hundreds of, if not thousands of other people catching on with hats. And I could have rode that until it died, or I could still be riding it. Who knows? But me sharing that, not only did it take sales away from me, it took sales away from somebody else who was riding that horse too, maybe. But the good, not the good resellers, the great resellers will always find a way and will always stay one step ahead of everybody else. Am I staying one step ahead? No, I'm not, because I'm sharing every detail, right? There's nothing I'm doing that you don't know about. So I'm really not a step ahead. I'm kind of just sharing my steps now. That being said, I'm hoping that in return, that the revenue on YouTube will kind of be like, it won't be a full recoup, but it'd be like a thank you recoup, right? The money I make on YouTube. It's like a thank you recoup. Because if I did make videos, I got a feeling I would be selling, if nobody else caught on to the hat thing, or as many people did, I should say, I could probably be selling double the hats, triple the hats. I mean, I was selling triple the hats. I think the 1 year alone I did, I don't remember the numbers, but it was drastically 3 times of what I'm doing on hats now. So, and that was before I was doing the videos. So, or right when I started, or somewhere in there. But I am hoping to get recouped with the thank you payments from YouTube, basically. So that's what I gambled on. So that was like my change in business. My change was sharing information that's going to start taking away business from me, but hopefully in return, start filling up with, I like calling thank you YouTube money. So, but it definitely hasn't equaled. I'm still technically, I still feel I would be making more on eBay with info that I've shared if I didn't share it. But it's not always about that. At least not at this point in my life. It's more about helping others, especially, you know, when the COVID thing happened and some people were out of work, and just helping people get by, because at the end of the day, we're all, I guess, as cliche as it is, we're all in this together, in this world, right? And sure, I might not be out there saving the whales, but hopefully I'm at least helping somebody's house payment with some info I've given, you know? So even just a little bit of something is better than doing nothing. So I may not be saving the whales, but hopefully I saved part of your house payment. Or at least a dinner. You know, I mean, something. All right, let's get into shipping this so I can get moving. I'm getting excited to get out there and to play. And I forgot to pull the first item as a hat. I have to go and look for that. But first we're going to get into an item that I just talked about. Picked up at the yard sale where I bought it all and hoping that I was going to get a big payday. And I've already made my money back from that entire yard sale, and it's still paying out. So we've got the vintage, did you guess right earlier? Hot Wheel track. So we got vintage Hot Wheel track. We got 34 strips here, 35 strips, sold for $35. Then I threw in some of the extra cut up pieces that I didn't put in the picture, so I have a little bonus there. Hopefully they won't think this is part of it and go, oh, I'm getting ripped off, and leave a negative or something. I'm just throwing in a little bonus track for them. I have not used one of these things in forever. I'll do this off camera. It'll take up too much time since I haven't done it in a while, so let me just set that aside. Get that one when I turn off. All right, next up is a little bolo that I was talking about, that I talk about here and there, and that is driving shoes. Whenever you see Adidas or Puma driving shoes, and you can get them cheap, grab them. So these are some smaller Adidas, Goodyear driving shoes. You can usually tell also by the like the low profile of them. Sometimes they'll have a brand name on the side. Some of the Pumas, I think, have Ferrari label on the back. I think Puma has Ferrari. They have Goodyear, but you can tell by kind of like a low profile sole, and then that sole will be just like a tire tread almost. So $22, headed to Woodside, New York. So, suck my toe all the way to Mexico. And while you're there, cut your hair, put it down your underwear. Okay, let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Woodside, New York. Hopefully I find some good finds today. I told the people at the one thrift store I went to last week that I thought I was recording in, but I wasn't. I'm going to try to come every Friday, so hopefully they'll be waiting for me with some good stuff. We shall see. I know almost everybody in that place, and they keep turning over employees, so they have to kind of like relearn everybody. All right, next up we got Victor Young, 45. Sold for $5, headed to Middleton, Kentucky. Always get to know your thrift store employees. Be friendly. Say hi often. I hadn't been in there in forever, and the ones that were still there remembered me. Started talking and stuff. Because I used to talk to them so much. I mean, I was in there all the time. So... All right. Gershwin cassette. So for $4, headed to Brooklyn, New York. So I'm going to go to the post office, right? Then I'm going to head toward QT because it's Friday, so it's my frozen Coke day. So I'm going to go to QT, grab a frozen Coke and some hot chips and just start randomly driving through some old money neighborhoods looking for yard sales. Well, actually, don't drive through the neighborhoods. I drive down the main streets looking for signs. And then I pass one thrift store, the one I did video in last week. So I stopped there. I'll stop there. Then finish heading down the main street looking for yard sales as I work my way over to the other thrift store that I went to last week. And we'll see what I can find along the way. So Lauren Harris, Touch Me, Lord. Sounds kinky. Sold for $7, headed to Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. And I guess I got to figure out the whole voiceover on the phone. I know I can screen record, but I don't know if it picks up the... I can mute the video, then screen record, and then talk over the screen record. So I can, I guess, kind of easily, I should be able to kind of easily be able to do a voiceover with the phone. So I think what I'll consciously do, if there's music playing in the thrift store, I will talk to myself, aka the camera. I'm in a thrift store. People don't even pay attention to people who talk to themselves in thrift stores. So I'll be talking to myself. And then when I get home, I'll have to watch the video and kind of remind myself what I said, where I said it. So then when I do the voiceover, I can kind of play off of my own commentary. Yeah. I'm leaving the weekend. From now on, since I'm doing the Friday thing now, I'm technically making money on Friday. And since I'm going for higher dollar things, I don't have to feel like I need to put in like 12 hours, right? So I can relax. I can go at a leisure pace. So Fridays, I'm looking at, okay, if I have to spend an extra hour playing with my video to do a voiceover, it's fine, James. You went out and found high dollar items. This ain't your $15 average items. These are higher dollar items that's going to help you throughout the rest of the week. So it's okay to not feel like you got to work for those 12 hours straight. It's okay to slow down and enjoy the moment. So that's what I'm looking at. Fridays is slow down, enjoy the moments. Saturday morning is the same thing with the yard sales. Saturday, whatever I feel like doing, I'm doing. This week I'll probably vacuum the pool again. And then Sundays, I eventually want to start hiking on Sundays. But if I don't feel like it, it's still one of those days I just kind of do whatever. So kind of just, at least for the summer, allowing myself more time just to breathe. All All right, this was a quick flip whitetail properties hat. Sold for, get out of my way, pop up, $8. Headed to Alexia, something, Minnesota. Alexandra, Minnesota. Alexandria, James, God. Alexandria, Minnesota. See what I mean? My head is weird. I often wonder if that's like part of like a dyslexia thing too, where you just can't quite piece those letters together, even though you've said them before plenty of times. And I have that issue too a lot with spelling. Like, I will totally lose a word. Like, I've spelt them a million times before, and I will totally lose it and go. The other one the other day, check. C-H-E-C-K. It took me literally almost 45 seconds to remember how to spell check. I was fighting it. It was so bad. But that's how it always happened to me. It's always been like that. Like I said before, like, it took me forever to just learn to spell the word elephant. Just, there are some things that just, and then always seeing words or letters and backwards and numbers backwards. Mostly numbers, but it's just weird. Weird. All right, Sing and Play Stampede Music CD, sealed. Headed to Hamburg. Hamburg. Have you heard? Oh, got hit by a flying turd. Sold for $5.60. That's ham bone, right? Ham bone. Have you heard? Mama got hit by a flying turd. Da da da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da, da, da. But to go back about changing your business and stuff like that, you can always, instead of looking at it as you got to change your business, the way I've always looked at it is going to the next level. And that's what I kind of told myself again when I start doing the yard sales and now the Found on Friday video. It's just the next level. You're finding, like, all the yard sales I've done, and I believe even in the Found on Friday, I've made my money back and then some. Found on Friday, I might be about even, probably up a little bit. But the yard sales, I'm up. So everything that I've pulled in with that extra going to the next level feel has brought in extra money that wouldn't be there if I didn't go out and get it and list it. I would have had a hat sale in that place that I listed instead of that, you know, item that brought me double the money that I went out and bought. So San Francisco Giants visor sold for $6, handed to Santa Cruz. And then on top of that, all that other high dollar stuff that I bought at the same time that's still in my store, that's going to help this week. So it'll be like just a snowball effect. You just always got to make sure you keep track of your numbers so you're not going backwards. Because if I have a week, maybe like a Found on Friday where, say, I spent $200 today. Say I get lucky and spend $200 a day on high dollar stuff, but nothing sells all week. I can take a week off and say, okay, I'm not comfortable going yet this week. We'll give it another week and make sure I make some money back, type of thing. That way, I mean, I don't have to be in that position, thankfully, because I got the rest of the store to cover my butt. But if you're in that position, you can't, you can, if you know your numbers, and you don't want to go backwards because you can't go backwards, you have to know your numbers. Maybe I do kind of a rough video on showing you guys what I do every day and how I got my numbers, and just kind of like a rough layout. If I can throw something together this weekend, maybe I'll do that. Like an easy way to convey it so it's not confusing. I didn't even pull everything. I just pulled mostly the stuff that has to go out today, and then some of the oddball stuff that don't have to go out till Monday, but figured it was a nice little addition to the video, if you will. So we got a Willie Nelson CD sold for $420, headed to Erie, Pennsylvania. Dun, 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 dun. What I'm kind of finding astonishing is at some of these yard sales, when I go to them extremely late, and I'm still scoring good stuff, like all that vinyl. And if I was 5 minutes early, I could have got it all. But another piece of it sold the time. Sold for $10, headed to Pasadena, Texas. So that's what, don't feel like, if you got enough information in your head, you don't have to feel like you have to be first in line. And I think that's the beauty of where, I've been for quite a while. Of course, obviously, I still got a lot I couldn't learn about. I'm sure I pass up a lot of good stuff. But I know enough I don't have to be first in line to still make good money. I can go to the Goodwill bins and walk in as the door opens, as opposed to being there 2 hours ahead of time to stand in line. Especially at the bins. I don't know why people do that. It's basically a game of chance anyway, because the way it's set up, it's all there. So once you get in, everybody can go to a tote. So whether you're 10th in line, 12th in line, you're still going to find a bin to yourself, basically. And it's just a game of chance, So usually the better stuff, you got to kind of move around for it. But those people kind of just go through and look for the ones in front, I think, go and look for that top of the, laying on the top, kind of hit as many as they can, as quick as they can type of thing. I have a hard time doing that because I'm like, what am I leaving behind that I didn't see in that bin? Now I'm over here and I see nothing. But if I would have stayed over there 2 minutes and dug, would I have found something? So that's me, always battling back and forth. So then you always have to pick what you're going to do and stick with it, though. Whether you're just a skimmer at first or you commit to a bin each time. If you stick to the same routine every time, it will pay off. Class Act cassette sold for $3, headed to Detroit, Michigan. So, dun, 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 dun. Will Rogers cassette, $7, Walker, Minnesota. Walker, Texas Ranger. Next up, going to Canada. Canada, we've got Nazareth on 8-track, Hair of the Dog. Sold for $4.20. Nazarov. Dude, I've been up, basically, I've been awake since like 3 a.m. laying there, trying to prop my head up so I could stop having headaches because the sinus pressure was just killing me overnight. Did most of the day yesterday too, and it still kind of is today, right now. Oh. And 420, 38. Whoops. Oh, now you switched to 39 on me. Used 8 truck. Ba bum 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 bum. My tummy muscles are sore. Switch. There we go, James. That's when I go in the bathroom. I try to do the 50 push-ups or the 50 sit-ups. After 100, I start feeling it. Third time in there in the day, I'm like, I can't do no more. It hurts. Keep going, boy. Don't be a wussy, you slacker. So, if you watched one of my yard sale videos, you saw all the DVDs I picked up for $20. Cold Souls is another one, sold for $4.20. Already in the profit with those DVDs. No. Oh, here we go. Already in the profit with the DVDs. The yard sale I bought the DVDs and the Hot Wheels at, been in the profit there. In the profit at the vinyl, with the vinyl. I'm in the profit overall from all of it, period. I'm just trying to think if there's like an independent buy that I'm not in the profit on that particular buy yet. Vintage clothing, I'm not. Spent $70. I've got the one dress sold for $18. So the vintage clothing, I'm still in the red on. This is the item that the person couldn't pay for a few days. I used to sell these consistently all the time for like $15. $6 out of this one. Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Will you fit in here? It's gonna be tough. Squish, squish, squish. We got it. Perfect. And 11.9. Been wanting to get somewhere by a certain day, and she's been freaking out because they wouldn't let her pay. So make sure she knows it got shipped today. Timber. All right. Next up, we've got Ken Osborne with his card. Sold for $7. Headed to Fisher, Indiana. I was like, it sounded like it fell out. I was like, it fell out. What do I want to find today? I want to find video game stuff. I want to find some cool vintage toys. But I'm not picky. Anything that makes money. I'm just going to try to remember to take both phones so I can look stuff up this time. Why not? I'm taking my time. Might as well use it to my advantage. Next up, we've got Are You Ready for a Cassette by Tina Turner, Lime Spiders, and Little Richard. 3 tapes headed to Austin, Texas, sold for $14.70. You're my private dancer. What's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can't be broke? Wouldn't it be funny if I could do the person's voice almost perfectly and YouTube flagged my video? That would be funny. That would suck, because then I have to take it down and edit it. That'd be a pain in the butt. I better watch myself. Next up, we've got We Be Jammin', Jamaica. Or Bahamas, I should say. Paradise Island, Bahamas. We be jammin'. We be jammin'. Sold for $10. $5, somewhere in Louisiana. $5. Sounds like an exercise program. $5. You've heard thighs of steel. Now get ready for $5. Make your thighs strong as a robot's. $5. Should have came up with something better than that. All right. I think everything that has to go out is out. So here's a few little oddball things. Well, not really oddball. This is oddball, going to Australia. Picked these up, I think, at the bins. Just a bag of beer bottle caps. And they're not like vintage or anything. I don't see anything that was, didn't see anything that was like super vintage or anything in there. But sold for 16 bucks. Going to Australia. Actually, I don't have to go out today. I'll say that. Let's just show this stuff. And then we've got, if you watched one of my yard sale videos, I picked up all those t-shirts. This was in there, the Emos t-shirt. Paid $5 for all those. This one here sold for $9.50. Headed to Baldwin, Missouri. So not too far away from where I bought it. So made my money back on those clothings from that yard sale. And then all the CDs that Jan picked up, me and Jan picked up the other day at the bins. I think this is the first one that sold. So Creedence. And that sold for $13. So there we are. So I got to get this track shipped out. This will be fun. Not. Let's see here. This is a pain in that. Get in there. That's what he said. Get in there. Alright. Make sure I got on the right side. Okay. So we fold that, and we fold that, and we snap 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 that. It's my new twerking song. and we fold that, and we snap that, and we fold that. Is that how you twerk? Oh, you gotta get down lower. Get the butt out there. And you fold that, and you snap that, and you fold that, and you snap that. What the hell's wrong with that dude? I swear there's something wrong with that boy. He didn't come from my groins. What was that? And Smokey and the Bandit? Loins. Ooh, this is popping it open. Are you not going to fit in there? You must fit. I say you must fit. Do not play games with me. Let me tape it up. If you play games with me, you will lose. For I am the game master. You are no match for my superior intellect. I will be smarter than the box. Be smarter than the box. Like that. See if that will work. It's not going to fit. And this is going to fit, but my extra bonus stuff won't fit. Well, it's still going to be tight. I'll still call it a fit. I guess he's not getting no extra bonus. Bummer. Maybe I can squeeze some of it down. Maybe some of the little bonus pieces I can get in there for him. Yeah, there's some little bonus pieces for you. Okay. So you got some bonus pieces. It's busting at the seams. Busting at the seams. Busting at the seams. Yeah, busting at the seams. Busting at the seams. Yeah, yeah. Busting at the seams. Nothing a little tape won't fix. How do you even measure these? I haven't done them in so long. I guess you just measure them. I guess they don't have a special spot. Special name to put on there. How do you measure a triangle? It's been so long. Back up to the Hot Wheel track. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, it says. Going to Silver Spring, Maryland, sold for $35. 4 pounds, 3 ounces. Package length is. Dun, 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 dun. I can take you down there. Stop it. You do not fall unless I tell you to fall. 38. That's the largest size here. 38 by 6. 38 by 6 by 5. Good enough for me. Better be good enough for them. 38 by 6 by 5. $28? Are you freaking kidding me? You're joking me. You're joking me. No $28. You're on drugs. And Parcel Select is 17, which is closer, but it's already in the priority box. That's how they get you. $10 extra. Good Lord. Good Lord, what's wrong with you? I make no money like that. You're taking my profits. 35, 45, 30 plus fees. I'm giving it away. Damn it. Here's where you contemplate. Do you take it out of the box and figure out another way to save $10? Or is it not worth your time and you just say, screw it, lesson learned? many hat boxes would it take to stack up to go inside? Less than, I make enough on shipping. Let it go, James. Just don't waste your time. You can make it up with the stuff you find today. You've already made money back from that yard sale anyway. Lesson learned. Damn post office. Putting people out of business. Putting themselves out of business for putting people out of business. I wonder if like places like the Goodwill outlet and stuff realize every time they've raised their prices, they're actually slowly putting themselves out of business, right? Because let's just say half the people who go in the bins are resellers. Every time you raise your price, more stuff gets put into question whether to buy it or not. So more stuff gets left behind. Then you add on that constant fees raising with eBay, constant prices raising twice a year with the post office. And post office is doing it pretty smart because you hear people say, oh, it's not that much. It's not that much. Yeah, it's not that much this time or the next time they do it this year or the 2 times they did it last year or the 2 times they did it the year before that and the 2 times they did it the year before that. But guess what? Add all of them up together and it's a lot. So I'm curious to see if which one will break first, right? Someone's going to break. eBay with all the problems and the rising thing, getting people to quit. The Postal Service raising prices, so resellers, certain items become less desirable to resell. And the same with the Goodwill bins. Less items become desirable to sell. So which will break first? Which will say put a halt to it, change something in the positive for a seller, or lower a price? Or will they just all blindly walk off the cliff? But how far away is that cliff before it falls off? So it's for somebody like me who loves watching, who loves, like I'm a people watcher. I love watching situations happen and learning from it. And this is one of those situations that I'm kind of like anticipating. Like somewhere, something's going to give, something's going to break. Somebody's going to say, oh, stop. Or they're all going to, somebody's going to walk off the edge and just totally ruin their business. It's, make sure everything is done, except for that hat I got to go get. It's one of those things that may, it's like, it's going to be not fun to watch, but it's going to be educational to watch. But you'll see. You'll see what happens. Something. I wish there was a way to see more of the effects that it already has had. Like, how many people have stopped selling on eBay in the last, say, 2 years? How much has the mail at the post office declined and or risen in the past 2 years? I would think declined because now some things are cheaper to send with UPS. And before, USPS was always the cheapest. So, it'll be an interesting ride. And do I think it'll happen before I die? How about that? Do I think it'll happen within the next 10 to 15 years? I think so. I think something's going to break or give in the next 10 years. Because you can't keep going at this level of increase, especially with inflation on top of it, right? Without something breaking. So something's going to happen. The train wreck is about to ensue. Oh. All right. Thanks, everybody. That was our Friday video. So hopefully I'll have one. I should have one this evening for Found on Friday. And then I'm going to get out tomorrow for some yard sales. And then also I'll have some. I've already got one recorded for the weekend. Another bag of Goodwill. Grabbed at Goodwill. I'm kind of calling those videos now. Grabbed at Goodwill video. I have another one of those up tomorrow. So thanks, everybody, for all the likes, comments, support, words, encouragements, thanking, all the good stuff that you guys do. Appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video. Later.